Okay, so let's see over here. I think I'm okay now. So thank you for bearing with me. I appreciate you, and I should be pretty good. There we go. Okay, great. So, if you don't know me, I'm Christy, and I am from Junk Journal Boss. And hang on a second so I don't keep hearing myself. All right, so this was sort of an impromptu decision to hop on here, and the reason why I wanted to is because I'm super excited. If you know me, you know that uh, let's see, you know that I have been going to my mother's house and picking up all kinds of items, and I'm not sure why I'm having so much trouble with my Streamlabs stuff. So if I'm fiddling around a lot, it's because I can't really see the actual, my actual dashboard, and I don't really know why that is. So, let's see. If you're here, go ahead and say hey, and yeah. So, I'm probably going to have to just fiddle around until I get it just the way I want, but for now I'll go ahead and start. My name is Christy, and I am from Junk Journal Boss. You might know me, you might not know me, but I have a ton of stuff to show you guys. Sorry, I'm showing you like junk mail here. I've been going to my mom's, right? And the fun thing is that she was a paper freak like myself, and I just wanted to show you. Oh, and a book freak too, which is makes it really fun. Hey, hey, hey! How you doing? Um, yeah, so I'm kind of doing a new thing today. I wanted to hop on and show you some really cool stuff that I picked up from my mom's. So, did anybody ever have those red encyclopedias from like the 70s? It was brought to my attention today that those were actually books that hi Marco, um, that how you doing today? How is it in Montana today? Ooh, what is this? Oh my gosh, I wonder if there's actually pictures of me in here. Oh wow. So I just opened this and it was from the Lifetime Portrait Club. No pictures of me. Oh, how funny though. Check out that envelope. Um, oh, you did? Oh, wow. Okay, so I found mine and I am so stoked about it because it didn't even really occur to me, that I would find that. But I found those and I'm going to show you guys those later. But for right now, what I'm going to do is show you some of the really cool stuff that I found. And part of the reason why I just love this stuff is that it's so retro. So this is main office of LPC. I don't really know what LPC is. Oh, it must be something with photography or whatever. San Gabriel Valley. This must have been whenever I got my pictures taken when I was a really little kid. So I used to go to my grandma's house and have my pictures taken there. And I guess it was just a thing my mom did all the time. I don't know if my grandma had anything to do with that or whatever, but I used to go there, and I can remember crying real hard one day, and I didn't want to get my picture taken, and so I got to take a picture with Thumper, the dog. So that picture is somewhere. I don't have it, but that's just a funny little story. So check this out though. So I've gotten envelope after envelope after envelope, but look at all the patina on these. It's so great. I just love envelopes and stuff. I don't use the cards so much, but these ones are crazy cute. And there's a little bit of Christmas stuff. Oh, and that little fox. Some hearts. These have to have been, 1989, guys. 1989. So these are almost 30 years old. Almost 30 years old. And let's see, these are all from Current. Do you guys remember Current? And so there's just a whole bunch of these adorable little cards. And I think it would be really cute to make like a little junk journal out of these tiny cards. Either that or, make pockets out of them or whatever in a Christmas journal. And so for me, what I've been thinking about a lot since my mom, or since I started bringing home this stuff from my mom's house, is that I want to start doing some journals that are specific theme. Had a lot of snow last night, but it got so wet that most of it is melted. Oh, I live in Southern California, Margot, and we don't really get snow, but I'm just going to tell you that it's definitely a time of panic for me, because I don't want to go out and drive. I don't want to go out and drive anyways, but so I'm just actually going to just throw stuff on the desk and just talk about it. So this is going to be sort of a meandering thing, but I just wanted to show you some of the things that I got and what that, let me start with the books, since it's called Reclaimed Books Extravaganza. Let me start with the books, and then if I have time I'll go back and show you guys some of this. And by the way, if there's anything specific that you wanted to see, then let me know. Yeah, seriously though, right? So my mom had a lot of stuff that she ordered from Current, and all kinds of different. My mom was an ordering queen. So I want to show you guys these things, these gems that I found right here in my mom's stuff. It's not the American Heritage Dictionary, though. This is pretty cool too. I do like that there are pictures, and I do like the way the tabs are and stuff. That's always really cool. But I feel like my jackpots were these. Oh my goodness, this was my mom's dictionary. Wild, by Becky. Becky's my mom's name. Look at that. Look at these. So there's just a ton of, look at all that. I don't know what that is. It looks gross though. But look at these pages. Yes. Yes, so I want to show you them, and then as I go along, I'll tell you what I might use these for. I think what I'm going to do with these books is, oh, here's my brother's name too. So, so I think what I'm going to do with these is just probably pull pages out, and there's some pictures that I can probably copy or whatever, but I think I might copy these and I kind of want to know how old these are. Sort of wondering if they're in the public domain yet. Not that my mom is 100 years old, mind you. But I can't really tell what the... Oh God, 1927? Do you think that's right? 1927? Anyways, let me just see. These are just wild, you know. Oh, copyright 1948. So I guess this is the 1948 print. That's the oldest print. So I'm assuming that. But the earliest print of this was going to be 1927. I guess these I guess these are the things, whoever it was, maybe it was my mom, was like, yeah, I'll read that. No, no thanks. On the preface and everything. Anyways, there's 2 volumes, and oops. And so I think what I'm going to use these for is I'll probably copy pages and use them in masterboards, you know. And so this one is Volume 1, A to Pocket Veto, Volume 2, Pockmark to Zimmergy. Do you know what Zimmergy is? Because I don't. I'm going to look it up right now, just because I need to know what that means. Oh, maybe I will get to know or not. Look at all that. My family artwork. Family artwork. Okay, so what this page is. Look. Oh, you know what? I've seen this in digital form before, like for sale for a dollhouse. I wonder if they got the images from here. That's wild. Okay. Zimmergy. Here you go. Here's your learning for the day. Okay. Zimmergy. That branch of chemistry which deals with the processes of fermentation, as in winemaking, brewing, distilling, and the preparation of yeast. Okay, so anyway, that's my little... okay. So I've got these cool dictionaries, very cool. Here is another book. This is super 70s, right? This is called Nicole Ronsard's No Excuse Exercise Guide. And I took this one because I really, really like the artwork. You know, like this sort of reminds me of, you know, the artwork that you would find on the outside or the envelope of patterns. So I think this artwork is really cool. And so look at her, how easy and breezy she is and cute. So most of the stuff that I have here, if they're big like this, I'll probably copy them and that, you know, or scan them or something like that. I don't know. But I think that these pictures would be really cute in a woman's in a book about women, you know, I don't know. I kind of am late to the party, but you know, for like, I like, you know, feminist ideas, and I think it would be really neat to have a book just on the topic of women and their progression over time and things like that. And I think these are really cool pictures. So anyways, I mean, I do kind of think that this whole, yeah, now you know, Margot, now you know what Zimmergy means. You know, I think that this is kind of funny because in the 70s, you know, there was still some, it was like a strong feminism, time of feminism, but also there's like books and stuff like this that are kind of funny. Uh-oh, where did I go? Okay. All right. So, let's go on to the next one. This is a book that I bought a copy. This is a copy of the book that my mother actually used to read to my brother and I. This was somebody else's child's book, but it's a book that my mom used to read to us, just Bible stories and things like that. And my mom was raised Catholic, and so there was a lot of religion in her family, and she went kind of the other direction, with the feminism and the 60s, free love stuff and everything like that. But she still had a belief, a foundational belief in biblical things, and so she demonstrated that when she read this book to us, Children's Stories of the Bible from the Old and New Testaments. So I ended up remembering this book, probably like 5 years ago, and thinking, I really would love to have a copy of that book. So I bought this off of somewhere online, and ended up finding my copy, my mom's copy, in her stuff. So this one I'm probably going to tear apart, and the other one I am probably going to just leave on my shelf. So this is a really cool book. It's got some really great pictures. Um, you know, I was thinking about doing like an Egypt book, and so I might include a picture like this and just kind of, write the story or something, or whatever, what this could have been, or what the story said it was, or whatever. A lot of really great pictures. So anyway, really cool book. Next, I got a whole bunch of cookbooks. Okay, so I got this Betty Crocker's cookbook, and this one I do have another one as well. I should probably go grab that really quick. But this is the Betty Crocker. This is from 1991. Still pretty old looking. Got a lot of great pictures. And so thinking maybe I would do, like my favorite recipes or my favorite kinds of foods or something like that. Plus, I can use it for recipes if I want to, because Betty Crocker pretty much never failed, did she? Let me go grab the other one real quick. All right. So, oh, there I went and left my headphones. I hope that wasn't too loud, guys. I'm not used to using these headphones, but my other mic is kind of being weird and out right now. So this is another one I got from my mom's garage, and this one is really patinaed. Look at all those foods. Just great patina to these pages. I really wish I knew. There's not really a cover page, so I don't know what the year was on this. But man, if you know, let me know. I do not see, but it looks quite a bit older than this one. I wonder if I'd be able to tell by it's the 40th anniversary. I don't know. It's got an ISBN number, but I don't really know if that matters or if that could tell us anything. But yeah, appliance cooking, electric skillet, slow crockery, which reminds me I need to buy a new crock pot because mine just died this morning. Microwave, so I mean, I'm guessing we've had microwaves since what, like 80s or something? So maybe this is an 80s? I don't know. What do you think? But it's just really a nice book. Just super retro looking. I don't know if we still got like Jello. If we got Jello stuff in here, I'm kind of thinking maybe it's, I don't know. But anyways, it's a really cool book, and I also got a third cookbook, which is McCall's Cooking School. This one is, my mom had a thing about cooking, though she never really cooked. She always kind of wanted to go to culinary school, so I'm guessing that that's what these things are. Okay, so this is a 1986, so about 29 years old, almost 30-year-old book. And this one's a little bit cooler looking. Look at that. Look at these. Oh my gosh. Pretty wild. Pretty wild. I do love this. The pictures are much prettier in this book than in the Betty Crocker ones, or the, no, I'm sorry, this is Betty Crocker. This one is a Better Homes. No wonder I'm not seeing oh, anyways. Now I know. But anyway, these pictures are much prettier. This was probably in the day, probably a really cool book. It almost looks like a textbook, right? You know? So, McCall's Cooking School. I wonder if this was actually, let's see, each shipment of McCall's Cooking School provides you with its packets of recipages that lead you into the world of successful cooking. So, did anybody take this? Was this really was it really a school, or was it really just a cookbook? You know, were there, oh, thank you. How is the librarian in the library for a long time? It's really hard for me to use books to do anything in, but yes, you can tell by the ISBN number what your books are. Oh, that's good to know, though, you know. So, I mean, I guess it's just going through the recipes or something. I really don't know. But this was a membership, which my mom absolutely loved being part of. So anyways, McCall's, Betty Crocker, Better Homes, some pretty good books. So I should tell you that the inspiration for me doing this video was that I tuned into to Carrie the Paper Monkey the other day, and I noticed that she had found like a ton of books, and she thought, you know, that it would be fun, and it really was, to go through and look at the different books that she got from whatever sale she was at, and share with us the things that she was going to do with these. So, anyway, I want to show you guys some different things. So, actually, this is something. These ones are just two of these kinds of books. You know, this one's all on fonts. Look at this, you guys. Seriously, new typefaces, okay? This is so funny. The typefaces are American typewriter avant-garde Helvetica was new at this time, 1976, right? And so it has a bunch of different new typefaces, they called it. We call them fonts now, but all of these were like really cool, you know, pages. And I want to show you what I did with a lot of these typeface pages. I'm starting a new book here that I'm calling, of course, Alice's Adventures in Wonderland. And I have a lot of pieces and a lot of stuff, you know. I had a whole set. I did a book a while back, you know, on Alice in Wonderland using the Stamperia pages, and I had some left. So because I have a lot of uh, that stuff left, I thought it would be perfect for a book like this. And this is a book that I got the idea of making. I've made ring journals before, but I've been watching DJ over at Hither and Yon Studio, and she made all of these tab pages, right? And so I ended up using like old manila folders, but they weren't really manila. They were more like colored folders that I figured I'd probably never use. And covered them with these pages, right? And some book pages from like Grimm's Fairy Tales or something like that. And so what I did was I'm pulling together everything that I could use that I have set aside for, that look like it could go in an Alice in Wonderland sort of book. And not that. And so it's going to be pretty eclectic, but all on the topic of Alice in Wonderland. And just super cool. Just things. I've been doing a lot of mega makes lately, so, oops, there's that. So I have a whole bunch of, I think other people call it mass make Mondays or something like that. And so I pulled out a bunch of stuff, and this is, some of the artwork that I've done, and, some of the pages that I cut up and everything. So anyways, that's what I was using these pages for. See, you can see them right here. Some of these font pages, and they're not really anything. There's nothing super special about these in my opinion, because they're all like E's or E's and L's or something like that. And then there's letters, or sorry, numbers, just different fonts and stuff. So there's nothing super special about any of these pages except that they're good to cover things. So you just found the book that you were going to make for your daughter. It was Alice in Wonderland. Just may have to elaborate on it. So yeah, you should. Alice in Wonderland is super fun, and there's a lot out there. And even if you don't have those Stamperia papers, there is always books like this. And so these are two that I was going to show after, but I'll show it to you now. This book here is called The Art of Walt Disney. Super old book by Finch and Abrams. This is funny. I've never even noticed this in this book, but this is my old address. So that means that I was probably about 5 or 6 when I got this book, okay? And then this is where I lived when I was, until I was about 12 or something. Okay, so it has all these great pictures, but what I did was I went to, the cartoon films and looked at all the pictures. There was only 2 Alice in Wonderland stories in here, pictures in here, so I grabbed those. But I'm going to go ahead and keep this, and you can't keep every single book on your shelf, right? So I figured the next best thing was to do I'm pretty sure I'm going to do like a favorite things book, and this is one thing. This will be what I'm working on Friday, so if you're interested in starting a favorite things book or watching me start one or whatever, I've already sort of started it, but I was watching Carrie Paper Monkey the other day, and she was talking about using these calendar pages, these kinds of pages out of magazines and stuff. So I started doing that, and then I started thinking, this would be really cool if I did like a favorite things, excuse me, a favorite things sort of book. And I have so much nostalgia attached to, hold on, let me get a drink of water. I have so much nostalgia attached to Disneyland. That so I'll tell you a little bit. I'll tell you again on Friday, but my very favorite thing ever from Disneyland was the Street Electrical Parade. The significance of this, the Matterhorn, is that when my mom used to take us to Disneyland every year, a couple of years or whatever, however long she did, we would come up over Anaheim Boulevard when there was like a hill, right? And I would see the Matterhorn and I knew where we were going. That was always the tip off. So I was always looking for that, right? And it was always so exciting. This ride, Adventures Through Inner Space, was not my favorite, but it was the scariest ride that I knew at that time, even more than Haunted Mansion, right? So, and then here's like the inside of Space Mountain, which was always a favorite. And so I'm going to be doing some pages like this. This one's very plain, but I will be adding more things. And so this will be from my Disneyland section, my favorite things at Disneyland. And I also have this book, which I've had probably since I've been married. And it is, let's see, Disneyland the first 35 years. So what? Disneyland started in 55. So this would have been probably 1990, looks like down here 50, 60, 70, 80, 1989. So yeah, there's a lot of really cool pictures of what it was like in 1989, plus, a bunch of other old pictures and things like that, which I think are fantastic. There's a lot of things in here that I didn't know or that I didn't experience, like, I don't know, where was that one with those hovering, yeah, the UFOs, that was 1961, and I was born in 1967. Never knew Babes in Toyland Village. The other one I didn't ever know was the House of Tomorrow. Have you ever seen that? And I'm not trying to get you to date yourselves, but have you ever seen the Disneyland House of Tomorrow? Been inside? Because I haven't, and I think it closed probably the year that I was born. And so all that is super fun. Plus my mom has a whole bunch of other Disney stuff, like maybe books like, I don't know, I think I've got a couple of them, like facts about Disneyland or something. And, it would just be all fun, fun to just really put something cool together like that. So this is another one of those font books. This one's looks a little more fun, I guess, but it's got like, I don't know, glossy pages. So I'm gonna have to, I know there's a way out there to go ahead and distress these. I think at the very least I might be able to use like gesso on it or something like that to get it to be a little bit more less glossy, more adherable, I guess. But I think like a page like this is really cool. Wait a minute. Let's see if I can get in here. That's really cool. These pages with all the fonts are really cool. And then the colors of these, the color of this cover is really great. Look at this, transfer lettering. I might be able to even like learn something from these books, but I mean mostly I just like them for the pictures and stuff. There is more, but now I got to get around all the books that I did show you already. So, those are all really special kinds of books. I want to show you some of the children's books that I got. I got all these yearling books, which I don't know that I'll use them. There's like a little bit of artwork in these, And this might be even the public domain artwork, maybe? No, Ernest H. Shepard. I don't know. But anyways, so there's these. This is the 60th anniversary edition of these yearling books, and I don't know if I keep them or I use them or what I do, but I wanted them. I thought this was really cool. This is kind of not the kids' book kind of thing, but I found that book. I thought it was cool. And this one, and this really cool one. This is a Reader's Digest condensed book. And I thought the outside of it was really cool. With a little bit of cleanup, I might be able to just use this cover and make it, a junk journal, or I could, let's see, I could take the spine out and use it that way, like I said, or I could pull out every other page or something like that and actually make this into a book journal. So I'm not sure what I would do with that. What would you do? This is, I'm a true crime person, so finding the Zodiac book was kind of a win for me. And, and then there was also this fun, keep your face out of my place. So anyway, I don't know what I do with that book, but whatever. This one is really cool, the complete book of American holidays. That artwork I liked a whole lot. But there's also like really cool artwork inside of here too that I could copy and use for different things. Let's see, what was this one? Veterans Day. Let's see what the picture is for Halloween. Yeah, that's cute. And I could just make these into, something. And plus I get to learn about all the different holidays. So that's fun. My mom was somewhat of I don't want to say she was an accountant because that's not really what her job was, but I think this was actually a book of my dad's Introduction to Financial Accounting, because he studied to work in hotels, as I guess what he did was he got a degree in hospitality. So I keep looking at my screen on the video. But anyway, all of these are really neat pages right here. These are the ones we pay for. You know what I mean? We buy off of Etsy, because somebody's made these pages and doctored them up or whatever like that. I don't know who Rob Mitchell is, but anyways, Rob Mitchell. This wasn't my dad's or my mom's. Who's Rob Mitchell? Anyways, this is really great writing though, right? And so, I don't know, it's just really cool looking. I don't know who Robert Mitchell is and why this was at my mom's house. So, it looks kind of like little kid writing, but anyways, interesting. I'm going to have to ask around. But what I'll do with these is I'll probably photocopy these and then just doctor them up in my drawing program and just make them, look distressed and things like that. And what a cool book. I think somebody's trying to get into this room. It's probably one of the dogs. Let me in, Mom. So that's a really cool book. If you can find these kinds of things, sometimes they are just, walls of text, but sometimes they're this, and that's really cool. It's just like a huge book of different kinds of ledger pages. So, a couple of these books I found. I'm not sure why my mom had them, probably to read to the grands. It's, my kids used to go over there quite a lot. And this one I almost put into the giveaway for, somebody that might like these. But when I saw Carrie, and if you don't know Carrie Paper Monkey, go over there and check her out. She's a lot of fun to watch. But anyway, she was talking about all the really, really cool artwork in these old kind of books. And I don't think she showed us this one, but this just really reminded me of the kind of artwork she was looking at in her books that she got from, I think she shopped at a library or something like that. But I mean, there's so much artwork in here. Look at that. Look at those little devils. Angels and devils right there. Um, anyway, such cool stories and cool artwork, and it's all a little bit different. And I just love it. Look at those. And the color is still so vibrant. And I just really love it. Love it, love it, love it. Hello, welcome in. If you're here and you haven't said hi yet, say hey. I'd love to meet you. And but if you are shy, that's okay. I'll just say hello and welcome. So here's another book. Oh, I haven't been looking at the copyrights on these. This one I'm going to think maybe 90s. Oh, 87. I was close. What was this one? Look at that little guy. 83. So Allie was born in... Oh, no, these are... I don't know where these came from then, because 83 and 87, my kids had not even been born yet. So, I don't know. Anyway, here's another that has just really great pictures. Kind of the same sort of thing. This looks like an Alice in Wonderland, which is nice because I have that Alice in Wonderland book, right? And I could make some copies or whatever. Really great. So fun. So fun. All right. And so when I was a little kid, guys, my mom had walls of books, walls and walls of books. She was a very avid reader. And so when I went down into her office, she had this office, right, that was just super packed with everything because my mom was, like us, like pack rat. So, anyways, this was one of the books that I saw often in the bookshelf, the Holcroft Covenant, and I saw other books like Thornbirds and a lot of Stephen King and just a lot of like Reader's Digest condensed books and things like that. But some of them I remember reading over and over when I was a little kid. I'd read the spines, right? And this is one of the ones that was really really noticeable. Like, oh, I remember reading that a whole lot. Not the book, just the spine. So anyway, I took a look at it, and the pages are really neat. They're not too patina, but what they are is they're kind of they're like different sizes. So do you see how this is? It's like the pages are different lengths, or if you look at it this way, different widths. And so I'm not sure that maybe that was like what mass made paperbacks were like or whatever. But anyway, I brought it home because I just thought it was cool. I just thought it was like nice memories. This is a book I got quite a while ago. I don't think I showed it to you guys, but I got this out in Yucca Valley when I was out there hanging out with Corey or Ezra and Corey. And this was from just some secondhand shop. I don't know, it was super cool. And it's America's Stamps, and I got it for $5. And it has pictures of like all these different weird stamps. And I thought this would be cute for, to make a copy of and then cut out all the stamps and just do stuff with them, instead of cutting the book up. Though I might do that too. I don't have to keep every book, right? But there's like really cool looking old-timey stamps and stuff in it, and cute pictures, neat pictures. And so, yeah, I'm excited about that. Another couple things I got were these old Smithsonian magazines. And my mom had a whole bunch of National Geographics and everything. And I was hoping to find some from like the 60s or whatever, but that wasn't happening. I don't think my mom was collecting those kinds of magazines at that time, but in the 80s she collected a lot of stuff. Excuse me. So this one I'm assuming was in the 80s, and I thought it would be really cool to find like old ads. Maybe look at how Gorilla Glue used to look way back when. Oh, this is actually 2002, so I'm inclined to say that wasn't very long ago, but it actually was. It actually was 23, 24 years ago. So anyway, I thought it would be really cool to look at. Oh, look at this picture. That's a really cool vase right here, and I think it would be really neat in my Christmas book, which I'm going to be working on this week on Wednesday at 3 p.m. So if you want to catch me again, you can sub to the notifications for any of my live streams. I'm going to start scheduling them out so that you guys can choose the ones that are going to be convenient for you. So you can grab those notifications and all that good stuff. But yeah, look at all these. Look at this. Harrington's Vermont smoked ham. Would you ever buy a smoked ham out of the back of a magazine? Is that crazy? Would you do that? Let's see. Excuse my yawning. Now I'm just kidding. Oh, look at that. That is so cute. That would be really, really cute inside of a oh, am I out of focus here? Oh, I'm not going to be able to tell. I forgot. Excuse me if I'm out of focus right now. Hopefully I put it back. Well, at least it's as good as it was. I don't know. Anyhow, yeah, I'm not really sure why my Streamlabs doesn't allow me to see what I'm actually looking at in real time. So anyways, and I chose this one because I thought this was such a cool pattern, Splendors of Afghanistan. And so, but again, excuse me. Yeah, I don't know what year, but I'm guessing it's probably 2002 also. So, wow, that's a strange piece of art, right? Weird. But look at all these. These are, oh, don't look at this one. That one's quite strange. Oh, Matisse and Picasso. So we got a lot of weird stuff. Anyways, we'll save that for another time. And now I do want to show you some of my red books. This is sort of going to be my the last books I'm going to show you, but then I'm going to go through and show you some other stuff too that I got. And hopefully this is inspiring you to know what to do with your books, or what kind of books to actually find at or look for at your local I was going to say grocery store, but that's really not what I meant. What kind of books to look for at yard sales and libraries and stuff like this. It looks like a lot of these front pages, fly pages I guess they're called. Tell me if I'm wrong on that, because I'm not real sure. But I tore them out. I probably used them as paper or something. But I had the whole set, right, of these, the Encyclopedia Britannica, and I read these so much, you guys. Did anybody else have these? But look at all the pictures and different things like that. Let's see what I was reading. I was reading something about maybe alcoholic drink or Louisa May Alcott. I'm not sure which. But anyways, there's a lot of really good, let me move that out of the way, really neat pictures in here. So almost anything that I'd be doing, well, let's check. Let me find the D. Let's see if I can find Disneyland. So say I'm gonna, ooh, look at those. So say I am going to do a favorite things, and so let me look in Disneyland. Oops. Disciples. Disease. Disney. So here's Walt Disney. Here's a picture of Pinocchio. And so that's a picture of that. And I can look, you know, in all of these for whatever I'm doing. Let's see. Let's say in my favorite things, I'm going to put dogs. So I can really just kind of look in here, see if there's any good pictures. Excuse me. Or passages. Oh, look at the cute pictures. Kitties, dogs. Oh, domestic animals. Yeah. Yeah. Let me know if you can't hear me very well, because I wanted to move the mic up because of I feel like I'm just yawning right into the thing, and not sure why I'm so tired. But look at this. So this is the kind of dog that Thumper was, you know. There's a dachshund at my grandma's house. Remember I talked about getting my picture taken and crying that one time, and just crying and crying, and they had to go get the dog. Excuse me, my goodness. But yeah, really, really, really cute pictures of dogs, and I've always wanted a Great Dane. So neat. Oh wow, there's just so many. Goodness. The dog I have right now is a Vizsla, and we also have a boxer. Boxer pit bull mix. So anyways, you get the idea. You know, that I could just come in here and copy anything I want, you know, and use it in my junk journal. And I just got so many of these books, you know. Oh, I love rescuing animals. That's a special thing to do, you know, to rescue animals. It's a good thing to do. Good person does that. So yeah, anyways, you get the idea of what these look like. They're just so cool. There's just so, and I would just sit and read these for hours, guys. Hours. So anyway, I'm not going to look through every single one of them, though I might this afternoon look through and see what all's in there. I think these are all pictures. Some of the other things I picked up around my mom's house were like different stamps. Sorry about all the family pictures there. I know that's probably not all that interesting, but I picked up a lot of different kinds of stamps. And let's see, let me put all those things aside. Oh, look, oh well, I think my son wouldn't probably be happy to show, for me to show you pictures of him when he was very little. But what I will show you, though, is my 3 kids when they were really, really young. This was probably 1995 or 6. Here's a bigger one, actually. So there you go. Very cute, right? I also got a bunch of Astrobrite paper because my mom was just such a paper hound, and so she had a lot of Astrobrite paper, which is really nice. And then here's a photo of my grandmother, which is a really beautiful photo. And you can look at her, how beautiful she was. And then I'll start showing you some other things that are not family pictures. Okay. I'm thinking that photo was probably my grandma in her 20s. I don't know. I don't really know what year she was born. Maybe that was like in the 40s or something. Yeah, that makes sense, right? It looks 40s. Okay, couple other things that are fun are these books. Oh goodness, I'm sorry for that. How to clean practically anything. So, did you happen to grow up not really, like with a mom that didn't really show you how to clean stuff? My mom was super young when she got married, so she just didn't have a lot of that down, and so it didn't get really passed along to me. Not that I don't know how to clean, I do, but there's just some things that are just hard to clean. So I decided to bring this home, and I'm actually going to see what these fantastic 70s women had to say about what to do, because we have this is actually 1983. We have these old fiberglass showers, and so I'm going to see what 1983 and 1996 people said, because it's not necessarily women. I don't know who this is, but the only name on here is Edward Kipple, so I guess he knew how to clean stuff too, right? So, and I'm going to see what they say, because that's an old material, right? Fiberglass in showers, so I think I'm going to be able to get some ideas, and then maybe also enjoy the patina pages at some point in a book. So let's see what else. Oh yeah, Look at these, guys. Look what I found. Anybody know what these are? I mean, it's kind of obvious what these are. So there's that. And just for your enjoyment, here's a picture of me when I was 12. And so, while I'm sorting through and pulling out the generic stuff and not family photos, every once in a while you'll get to see one. But those Disney bucks, I believe, were from the Disney store, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know whether they had those actually in this park at all, but kind of interesting, right? All right, so this stuff. So I've got stamps and Disney dollars, and I keep finding these really cool pads of paper, like these really old pads of paper. And, with my mom's writing on it, so cool. My mom had the most beautiful writing, and so I'm going to be incorporating that into junk journals quite a bit because it's just cool. And I found these. Anybody know what this is? Oh, it says photo box on it, so whatever. Photos for photos. And just some old tour things that my parents likely went on, or maybe even took my kids on. My parents were travelers, and they would always take my children around places. Hey, look at these, you guys. These are old photos that were really messed up. So, do you guys know how to restore such a thing? Because I think it would be nice to do that for my aunt, because this is my aunt and my dad. So I would like to do that for my aunt. I think she would really enjoy that. So anyway, if you got any ideas, let me know. I might be able to digitize and do something with it. I don't know, with AI, but anyway. So this is these are tickets to the Grand Canyon Railway. I believe this is where I believe this is a trip that they took my son on, Danny. And so there's that, and there's the receipts, and just different little things. Look like Max and Thelma's restaurant. Oh, this was, from a specific tour they took. This is a pretty cool card, like business card of somebody's. And there was just all sorts of neat stuff. All sorts of neat stuff. Native American jewelry, Pueblo Indian Gallery. Here, now I'm doing these upside down. Hopi House. My mom liked to go to places like that because we have Hopi in our bloodline from my great grandpa. And so my mom was forever trying to figure out what our genealogy and how that all connected. And so I'm always interested in continuing that pursuit for my mom. And so anyway, but all of this stuff is really just things like that. Here's a picture of my brother. Cute, huh? Ornery boy. So this is a schedule of tours, attractions. Looks like in the Provo area. So I don't know what my parents were doing over there, but they were always doing something. Cliff Palace, Mesa Verde is what it is. So I know my mom went to Arizona a few times, but look at this cool bag. La Plata Jewelry Incorporated from Durango, Colorado. Jeep tours, I mean, look at all this stuff. This one was actually Navajo. Monument Valley. Yeah, this whole area, it looks like might have been that one for the Grand Canyon. Maybe that was when my son was on, Danny. And so there's just a whole bunch of different like receipts and weird stuff that I think would be cool to like tear up and put into master boards and stuff. Just little stuff like, you know, says my, oh hey, I'm not going to show you this because it has my mobile phone number on it. And that's still my phone number. So anyway, this is really cool. Like an airline ticket or airline tickets. Pretty cool. I think all of those things would be really neat for masterboards. So if you get a chance to go through your parents' stuff or your grandparents or whatever, save all this weird stuff because you can just use it. You know, you don't have to copy those actually because there's so many of those kinds of things, you know, receipts and stuff, but they're really good for masterboards. So, let's see. Yeah, I think that's hotel restaurants. I don't know what this is. This is like some kind of weird. Paris. Oh, I don't know what this says in French. Is this Paris? It could be Paris, actually. So that's pretty neat. I don't know. I don't think my parents ever went to Paris that I know of. Let's put these down here. Other places. Look at these old newspapers, guys. From, I don't know when. Yellowstone Association. Probably somewhere they were going. Yeah, Yellowstone Today, summer 1992. So there's that. This was probably circa the same time. Grand Tetons. Another tablet. I don't know what that is. Another Grand Canyon Railway from 1989. No, that's not true. This has actually got to be later than that. But I don't know. Oh, 2000. So this might have been 1999 or something. That sounds about the right time. That for that. Look at there's just all kinds of weird stuff like that in here. You know, look at this. Bonanza Casino, you know. So, look at that. Circus. Wild, huh? What's inside of here? So this has got like all kinds of different pictures of that same flamingo. Interesting. This one is El Dorado. You know, so I don't know. Maybe someone would be doing a Las Vegas book, something like that. I don't know. Here's some really cute old postcards. Really cute Christmas postcards. Tickets, Event Horizon and Air Force One. Event Horizon. That's funny. Microwave peanut brittle. This would be good in a cooking book. Pumpkin bread. This was Pat DeMurray's recipe for pumpkin bread. So, got some old National Geographic things, something from Christ Church Cathedral in Victoria, British Columbia, Festival of Flowers. So my parents would go and do these things, which indicated, a faith that they kept, and they really didn't share that with me at all, which is kind of interesting, because I think it was because they felt that, religion had been pushed on them as little kids, and they didn't want to do that to us. So, anyway, Deming, New Mexico, Oatman, Arizona. I mean, just lots of stuff. They're like vintage, but they almost kind of don't really have a vintage feel yet. That one, I guess, kind of does. I don't know what all this is. I don't know why my parents kept all these, but anyways, it was just a lot. Just a lot of different interesting things that they kept. And so, I actually think that I probably showed you everything. Oh, well, maybe just a little bit more stuff. Let's see. So I like stuff like this, Let me fold that down a little bit. With this kind of writing on it, like old letters and stuff. These are like, I think I showed you these ones already, yeah. And I might have showed you these too. So a couple of things that I wanted to make a point to tell you are always, so this is kind of my jam, right? Sorry, I missed that, Margot. She's 4 and we got a baby. He's 11 months old now. Cane Corso and Brindle Mastiff. Beautiful, beautiful. So look at these old envelopes. They're just so cool looking. And they're all just old logos and stuff like that. Lots of patina and interesting things like that. And these are some shopping planner envelopes my mom had. They'd be pretty cool for making tucks in a food journal. Not a food journal where you keep track of your food, although you could use it for that. But just like a recipe journal or something. That'd be really cute. And this is in no way completes the amount of things that I've gotten from my parents' house. This is just what I brought home, some of what I brought home yesterday. But I like to keep these check registers. There's nothing in this one, but you can use them for different, like pieces of these kinds of papers for your master boards. I got this, the HSC Shopping Club. Isn't that funny? Like an old, like some kind of envelope. Sorry if you can hear my husband's, he's doing work out in the garage. He's getting ready to remodel our closet. And so that's beautiful. Old checks. I don't want to show the account number, not that it really matters, but old checks I think are really cool, to tear off pieces of it, and add them like to corners of masterboards and stuff. I should just do masterboard things. But look at these interesting coupons. or these are actually payment coupons. I don't know what they're for. Associate Financial in Whittier. Something my mom was paying off because she paid on March 21st. 5/9. You know. So anyways, pretty cool things. And maybe what I'll do right now is just make a master board just for fun. Okay. So here's a piece of, it looks like it's kind of cut. Part of it, it's not quite 8.5 by 11, but let me see, is this even? Why does it look uneven, I wonder? Oh, it is slightly. Oh, that's weird that I would even have noticed that. No, it wasn't even. Okay. Anyways, let's start looking through and picking something that can just, just be the background sort of thing. I don't know if I want to use something like this. Oh, look at these guys. Super cool. I didn't look in the back of this, but pretty neat stuff. Anyway, okay, I'm going to quit doing that. I think what I'm going to do is go ahead and take a book out of a page out of Holcroft Covenant. Probably, I don't know, not those. There's nothing very interesting in here, but that's totally fine, right? I don't know why I'm acting like, it's a good possibility I might come back and read this. There is no possibility I'm going to come back and read that. Okay, so I'm going to use a glue stick for this because I feel like it's a little bit easier, but just remember that even with using a glue stick, you can still create, if you use too much glue, you can still create bubbles and things. So let's see if we can avoid that by using this. There's a little bubble there. Maybe it won't be as bad as it could have been, right? So that looks pretty good. Let me see if I can find some I know we had some train tickets in here, remember? So let's take a look and see if I can't locate those or something cool. I am not seeing that. If I don't find it here within just a minute or two, I'll just pass it up and set them aside next time. Oh yeah, so this is cool. This is an old British Airways item, ticket or something. That was probably not my parents'. I think the Paris stuff could have been my my uncle's, or my dad's aunt. But it's all mixed up in here, so I really don't know what all of it is. So I hope nobody's upset if they see I'm using it. And the truth is that there's plenty of these to go around if anybody were to actually want that. Okay, so I'm just doing the basic, the bottom of the masterboard. So I'm just going to do the paper stuff first. Oops. And pretty much cover with interesting paper and stuff. Let's see. This is kind of goopy glue. Let me make sure to do this. Spread it around a little. And let's see. Should be, out of all of these things that I got, there should definitely be more interesting things to put in here. And so the theme could be travel. How about? So let's take a look and see if we can find some more. I mean, there's tons of travel things. So we'll just do all kinds of travel, right? So it might be kind of neat to, and this is super funny that I would even be doing a travel journal. I mean, a travel book masterboard, because I don't travel at all, guys. I am not a traveling person. I love to be at home, you know. It is my thing. And that's why, live streaming and all that, is my thing. Let's see. What would you put on your travel masterboard? Maps. Let's see. I think I'm going to just go with all kinds of different colors. So this one's cool. Let's just pull out a bunch of things. Let's see if we can find anything from here. Yeah, ticket and boarding passes. Let's see. Oh, this is the early one. So let me see if I can find a definition of travel or vacation or something that would look neat. I guess stuff that people would do on vacations, like go to the Grand Tetons, or let's see. I'm getting there. My husband's sitting here for a minute and watching. It's kind of interesting to explain it to him. I know, it's fun. This is like the stuff that gets me going, I love to just sit here and look at old books and stuff. Yeah. All right, so oops. So there's travel, It's kind of small, but I think it's okay. So, let's see, what else have we got? Think of some other words for um, for travel or vacation or something. Oh, yes. I mean, if you can't go around and do stuff, or I don't know, are you, you might be a homebody like myself. Um, I don't, oh, wow, look at this. Broadsheet from the West Indies in 1829 attests slaves could be sold or hired out. Look at that. That is wild right there. It's the old Smithsonian magazine. So I guess sometimes there are going to be some interesting things like that. I hope you feel better, Margot. Okay. I might do an Egypt. I don't know about any of you guys, but so when okay, here's me being here's me being like really proud of myself. But when I was a little kid, I went to the old King Tut. Oh, look at this. This is wild. This is pretty cool. So I went to the old King Tut exhibit way back when I was probably like, I don't know. I don't know what year it was, that it was around sometime in the 70s. So, let's see. I wonder if this is just going to be too big. Maybe this goes over here. So, anyway, I went to go see see the King Tut exhibit. I've always been kind of intrigued with Egypt for some reason, and I'm not real sure why. Maybe that is why, because I got to go to that when I was young. But then it came back when I was homeschooling. Oh my God, I can talk. Homeschooling my kids. And so we went because, nostalgia and all that. And it was out in LA next to the La Brea Tar Pits. And, not that we really went there. Oh, right on. I don't know if I really even want to go, but I've just really liked the whole idea, of I don't know why I'm intrigued with Egypt. But anyways, so I took my kids and I was like, yeah, check it out. I've been to both of them, when I was like 10 and now or whatever. So I was really, really, I was really annoyed to find out that they were bringing it back again, because they told us it was going to be the last time ever. And good selling point and all that, right? So I was a little miffed that that was not true. That they actually decided they were going to bring back the here, Afghanistan. I think a map of some sort. But yeah, I was really kind of annoyed. My children, yes, in 2000, that makes a lot of sense. So that was probably when it was I I went when I was like in the 70s, and then I went in 2000 when they said it was going to be the last time, right? So it was, like I said, annoying that they were bringing it back again. Yeah, they do. They do have some really nice pictures. I think those are worth having. I'm sure that the other ones that I was going to grab, the National Geographics, would be really cool too. But there's a lot of them. And I just kind of think that that maybe that would just be too many things. So let me see if I can find any words to go across that prologue, because I sort of think that that may not be. That might not go along with it. I basically covered that whole page anyway. All I really wanted out of it was just for it to be, for the white to be covered. And so, oh, you know what I wanted to also talk about? I wanted to talk about no spend December for me. So for the last few minutes, I'll talk about the things that I think I'm going to do. Oh, here's one that says Paris. How about this? Paris. Not that that's Paris, but I have decided that because all of my, thank you, Margot. I think it looks good too. Is my birthday in March? No, my birthday is in 4 days, actually, on Friday. And so that's why I'm going to do a favorite things. I'm going to start my favorite things book because it's my birthday and that's what I want to do. That's what I want to do. So, anyhow, I'm going to, because in light of the fact that I have so much stuff already, I'm going to go ahead and do a no spend on ephemera, which I haven't really spent a lot on ephemera lately anyway, but there are some things that you just know would look nice, and why don't you just grab them or something? Thank you. Do you mean this shamrock? Or other shamrocks? My dad was he was my stepdad, but his family is like super Irish, and so there's a lot of those kinds of things, that vibe or whatever, with some of the things I've gotten from him, But this, I'll just tell you a little story about I'll tell you a little story about this. This tattoo, I don't know, I'll have to do it sideways, I guess, is, it says Memento Mori, and I got it, after my mom's death, okay? And that just was a reminder to me that, life doesn't last forever, I should do the things that I want to do and everything. And this was her favorite flower, the iris. Okay, so me and actually all the girls, in our family, the descendant girls to my mother, got irises, of different kinds, and Ezra and I ended up getting Memento Mori, and that. So, anyways, I should say kids. But then when my dad died, Ezra and I ended up getting shamrocks next to the iris, and those are for my parents. I plan on getting more around here, different things, maybe a St. Patrick or something, because I believe that was my grandma's. I don't know very much about the religion or if this is the right way to say it, but her patron saint, she would ask St. Patrick for what it was she wanted or needed. So I think that's what I'm going to do. And I haven't really thought too much about what I would get for, my grandpa and, but that's kind of just going to be it's going to be my thing. That's where I honor, the people who've passed and all that. So that's what I do. So I just made this piece of ephemera. And, part of the reason, getting back to the no spend, is because I have a lot of things like this. I'm not sure what I said, Marco. Yes, but I probably did say it, yes. But because I have things, like these little stickers and everything that I've got from Temu, and I just don't use them very much. I do like these ones, and I think I'll probably use something. I don't know, maybe right there or something, I don't know. But, there's nothing to buy, you know what I mean? Especially with all of the stuff that I have. Maybe I'll use this orange one instead to go with that orange and this orange here. Looks like it's going to be like orange and blue with a little bit of pinks or something. I don't know. Maybe that's what it's gonna be. So, but with all the stuff that I'm bringing home from my mom's, I don't feel like I have any business. Though, it's not about money or anything. It's just about not wasting money on things that I already have, or you know what I mean. Or I can make it myself. And I've always kind of been a DIY person, anyways. So I don't have a lot of issues with finding ideas or anything like that. Oh, these will be really cute in my Alice in Wonderland. Yeah, well, that's a good idea. So anyhow, that's going to be the no spend December. And so what I'm thinking is that it's probably going to go longer than December, but just for the sake of not. Oh, that's a really cool idea, Margot, your dad's signature. My mom's signature would be really cool too. But I think that's a great idea. So anyways, though, it's just sort of, I don't know, something I'm thinking about that I want to incorporate into my junk journaling, because when I do, I think it'll be really encouraging, to other people. This economy is really crappy right now, and people are having a lot of trouble, and I feel like it would be fun for me, but it would also be kind of a service to the public, junk journalers at large that think they need to buy, Tim Holtz. I don't think I've ever bought one Tim Holtz thing except maybe this stapler. And, it would have cost the same amount of money to buy one without Tim Holtz signature on it. But I haven't really bought anything Tim Holtz. I probably have bought things from Temu that are inspired by. So, because I know that Temu kind of rips off people's artwork and stuff. But so that's kind of the reason why I don't buy much from them anymore as far as these things. But, I mean, I buy a lot from Amazon too, so let's see what this might look like. Kind of interesting. So, I'm thinking I've had these for years and I haven't used them yet. So it might be a great idea for me just to hold off on buying any new kind of ephemera. I think if I do buy anything, it might be like, a consumable, like a pad, or something. I don't know if I'll even use those. Something like that, you know. These are sort of old-timey kind of things. Anyway. So, oh, I do want to say though that if you're going to be around on Friday, I hope I remember this because I often will forget things. It's not for not wanting to remember, but I want to, for my birthday, I want to do a drawing for Happy Mail that day. So, because I just think it would be fun. Fun to do a drawing, and with all of the stuff that I have, maybe that, if I gave in a Happy Mail or in Happy Mail, that it would be super fun for somebody and it would encourage their spend no spend December if they want to do that. They don't have to, of course. On my left ankle, it wraps around the front, is playing a garden with plants and animals. Each child had to pick one. There's 8 kids and me and my husband. Our starburst lilies. That sounds amazing. That sounds amazing, Margot. I am all for, the family tattoos for sure. I have one on my ankle of R2D2, and that's for my son, Danny. And I want to get one here, but my grandson Kieran hasn't given me the okay to do that yet. But I want it to say, I like you and I love you, because that's what he's always said to me. And I have one on my back. This one's kind of funny, but it says sick ass dude, and that's because that was an Ezraism, and actually he tattooed that on my back, and I haven't gotten one yet for my eldest daughter. I don't know yet. I think it's probably going to be something like a horror figure of some sort, and I have a couple of ideas of ones that I want, because I'm a horror movie buff, and so I think that I mean, I wouldn't get them just for the sake of getting them, but there's a couple that I would get that would be sort of a tribute to my facing my fears, because I used to be really afraid, driven by a lot of fear, as a young person and even as an older person. So, yeah, I just kind of I want to, congratulate myself, I guess. It's just sort of a personal tribute, for that. And, I guess it's kind of weird, but it is, it's helpful for me. So the one I really want to get is from what is it? Day of the Dead or something, and it's, if you know zombie lore, like George Romero zombie lore, there was one zombie after a bunch of movies and stuff of like brainless zombies and stuff. There was one one zombie in particular that started becoming self-aware, which was really interesting. And um, and I felt like at the time that I saw that movie, as an adult, I felt like I was going through something like that, for a lot of different reasons that I won't go into. But I felt like I was becoming, a lot more self-aware about things and about myself and about life and everything. And so I kind of wanted to get that guy tattooed on my arm or something, like on my upper arm, my shoulder area, because I thought it would be cool to to commemorate that facing my fears sort of thing. I think I might still do that. I'll have to see if my tattoo guy will do that for me. Let's see. How do you think it's coming out? It's coming out okay. What I do want to do is pull out a little bit of ribbon, because I like to add something that creates texture as well. And I have all these ribbons and stuff. So, just to dress it up a little bit. So I'll pull my little stapler out and see if I'm able to use this anywhere. And let's see. There are some specific colors that I'm using. I don't think this is one of them. It's really just the blues and the... Wow. Got a couple of messages there. I better check it. Sorry for the interruption here, but let's see. Oh, yeah. Yeah, Ezra's just talking about that I could give the boy, which is what we call Kiniki, Ezra's dog, that I could give the boy back. But I don't have the boy, so I'm not really sure where he's at. Maybe he's outside with Todd. Todd's in the garage doing stuff having to do with the new bathroom thing. So I'm probably going to wrap up in about 10 minutes. But I'm going to do this for a little bit longer. Ooh, this is actually perfect color. That would go really nice. Let's pick out a couple more colors that would work. So this is like my favorite, and I might add that in there. I guess it's just, I like certain things, and they always kind of make it into my master boards and journals and things. So, old coffee dyed lace. I'm mostly just looking for colors that would work. Give a holler if you see a color that would look good that I missed. The colors are mostly like shades of orange, shades of yellow, I mean lavender, I guess, not yellow, and shades of blue. Margot says, friend has a farm in Washington. They've made... Oh man, I wanted to read that. I think you may have told me that before, though, that they made a horror movie, and now I really want to know what the movie was and stuff, because I'm going to want to watch it. So Anyway, you can message that to me later or something if you want to, Margot, because I am intrigued. So I think those things look pretty good. I'm not sure that green really works, but it does for that map, and that map has that orange. Yes, please. I would love to watch them and talk about them with you and with my audience, because that's kind of what I do is I talk about what I'm watching and stuff. I haven't really talked too much about what I'm watching lately, and that's because I don't know if anybody's watching it, or sometimes I think, people don't want to hear about horror movies. And, probably for the most part they don't. But I know that there's a few of you freaks out there that that don't mind. So, anyhow. Yeah, I'm into it, Margot. I gotta know. I gotta know. All right, so I think what I'm going to do here is perhaps, let's see. I think maybe I need to do some, add some color, or at least some kind of distress ink or something onto this. And just kind of go over it to make it look like a little old, and not that that patina doesn't help on the papers and everything, but I don't want it to look like a mixture of old and new necessarily. So I guess since I'm talking about it, I'll go ahead and share what I'm watching right now, and that is I'm watching Welcome to Derry on HBO, and that is an adaptation of not quite an adaptation, but maybe like prequel type material of the book, the Stephen King book It. So if you are a Stephen King fan, it's a really good watch, and totally worth the time. And I'm really enjoying all of the lore that I don't remember. I guess that was in the book, so let's see. So if you're watching right now, and well, I don't see too many on still yet, but if you're watching and you're wondering what we're doing for Mega Make Mondays, which is an exclusive members only thing I do on Mondays. Well, we will be doing paper flowers, which is really cool because paper flowers are really neat. So I'll show you. They're not going to be like this big, but we'll do little ones. And so all you will need is to bring some tissue paper. Maybe this one's kind of smashed, but they can be unsmashed. But these are really cool and cute, and can be used for a lot of different things. And so since we're talking about junk journal mainly, um, we'll figure out how to put these on a junk journal actually once I teach how to make these. And these are a mega make. You know, you can do a lot of them at the same time. And this is just how I used one of them. I learned this craft from being in DJ Hither and Yon Studios membership. And so this is a post-it note with a pen hole right here, you know, a post-it pad. And then I just added this because I thought it would be cute, you know, with the pink. So anyways, I need a smaller pen, but for now, this is it. This is what I got. But we can use them on lots of different things. So Margot, you love Stephen King and read it. I've seen Misery. Yep. Took me years. Needful Things. And Christine, yeah, I've been reading Stephen King for, since I was probably 17, So if I'm going to be 58 this week, that tells you probably 40 years. So it's just really my thing, So anyhow, I do highly recommend the It series. I mean, not the It series. I do recommend the It series. I recommend all of them. My favorite though is probably Welcome to Derry because of the lore it explores. I already knew the stories, so when they redid it, I already knew that story. It was just less cheesy, and so that was cool. But this is it's amazing. So I'm going to add this here. Did we talk about this before, Margot? Did I ever ask you if you watched Castle Rock? Because if you haven't, you need to. Super, super great. Oh, there you go, right? That's what you do. That's what you do. I have a feeling that's kind of my kids' strategy too. Not that they don't want to pay for things, but it's just much easier for mom to pay for stuff, and I don't mind at all. So, anyways, I'm going to keep working on this, but thanks for being here. I really appreciate it, and yeah, go back and watch the replay because if you're just logging on, thank you. If you're just logging on, go back and watch the replay because I broke out a ton of really cool books. And also make sure to go to my YouTube page and click on the live tab and make sure to turn on notifications for my next 2 live streams, which are going to be Wednesday at 3. We're going to talk about, I'm going to be working in my Christmas journal, so if you want to come and get some ideas, come hang out from 3 to 5, and then on Friday from 3 to 5, I am going to be working on my favorite things journal, and it's going to be really cute and fun. So anyways, I'll see you guys later. Thanks so much for being here, and talk to you later. Bye.